In this section, we will discuss base and sub-base of a topological space. So first we have a definition. Let X tau be a topological space and subfamily B of tau is said to be a base for tau if every member of tau can be expressed as the union of members of B. That means you have a topological space X tau and you have a collection B of members of tau. That means you have a collection of open sets because members of tau are open and B is a subset of tau, means B has some members in tau. That means it's a collection of open sets, and this collection B forms a basis if every member of tau, suppose you are taking a member A belongs to tau as arbitrary, then A can be expressed as the union of members of B. That is, A can be of the form union I in I Bi, where Bi belongs to script B. So in such a case, we say that this collection B of subsets of tau is a base for the topology tau. For example, we know that in a metric space, every open set, suppose we are taking an open set O, then it can be expressed as the union of open balls BD XR or something like that. So every open set in the metric space is the union of, or it can be expressed as the union of open balls. Hence these open balls is a base for the topology induced by the metric. So this metric space will induce a topology or a topological space, and that topology has the base BDXR, collection BDXR, and you can take script B as BDXR. Now if we are taking the open ball with rational radii or open ball with radius 1 by a, that will also form a base. Consider R with the usual topology, R with usual topology. Since this topology is metrizable, or this can be induced from usual metric by what we studied above, its base will be collection of all open balls, but here the open balls are open intervals because we are taking R. So this collection of open intervals form the basis. So here the set B is collection of all open intervals, and that will form the basis for this usual topology, and this collection of open interval with rational radii or rational radius will also be a basis for this topology, because we can take open balls with rational radii since set of rationals is dense in R. So we can choose this like P by Q, this is some P1 by Q1, etc. That means for the usual topology or usual topological space R, the collection of all open intervals with rational radii forms a base, and this base is a countable base because the set of rationals is countable. So this is a countable base. Now we have one proposition, that is characterization of bases. Let X tau be a topological space, script B subset of tau, then B is a base for tau if and only for every X in X and any open set given containing X, there exists B in B such that X belongs to B and B is contained in G. So this is the characterization of base. That means what? If you have a topological space and you have subsets B of tau, and this form a base if and only for every X in X and an open set G, open set capital G containing this X, there exists B, some B in this collection B such that X should be a member of B. This is I am taking as B. X belongs to B and that B is contained in G. So if this is true for every X in X and an open set G containing X, then we can say that B is a base for tau. That we need to prove. Proof. Consider the first part, that is, assume that B is a base for the topology tau. Now let X belongs to X and G be an open set containing X. G is open. G is an open set containing G. Then we have to show that, we have to prove the existence of a member in the collection B such that X belongs to that member and that member is contained in G. We have taken B as base for tau and G is open means what? G is a member of the topology. Clear? So G belongs to tau and B is a base. Then by the definition of base, we can express this G as the union of members of B. That is, G is of the form union I in I, Bi, where this Bi's belongs to the collection B. That is by definition of base. Now X belongs to G implies what? X belongs to union Bi. Union Bi, I in I. X belongs to union means what? X belongs to some Bi or some Bj for some J. For some J. Now you can take this Bj as the required set B. So you have X belongs to Bj, that is X belongs to B and B is contained in G because B is contained in union Bi. Union Bi is nothing but G. Okay, X belongs to Bj and Bj belongs to this collection union Bi and we are taken Bj as B. So B is contained in union Bi, that is nothing but G. So you have this result, X belongs to B and B is contained in G, where B is a member of script B. So the first part is over. If B is a base, then there exists a member B such that X belongs to G and B is contained in G. Now to prove the converse part, that is, we have to assume that for any X in X and an open set G containing X, there exists B in B such that X belongs to B and B is contained in G. Now we have to show that this B is a base. For that, let H be an arbitrary open set. H be an open set in X. That means H belongs to the topology tau. then by the assumption, for each x in H, there exists a B in collection B such that x belongs to B, or we can take this as Bx, because for different x we will get different values, so different Bx. So there exists x in Bx such that Bx is contained in H. That is like this: if you take any x, this I am taking H, if you take any x belongs to this set H, you are getting a open set Bx such that x belongs to Bx and Bx is contained in H. And if you take this x, you will get another Bx, and if you take this x, you will get another Bx, etc. If you take any x in H, you will get another Bx which is contained in H. This means what? H is nothing but the union Bx, where x in H. This means what? Every member of tau, this was a member of tau, every member of tau can be expressed as the union of members of B. Therefore, B is a base for tau. So we have this result: X tau be a topological space, B a subset of tau, then B is a base if and only for every x in X there exists an open set G containing X such that B in B and X belongs to B and B is contained in G. Now we have the definition. A space is said to satisfy the second axiom of countability, or it is said to be second countable if its topology has a countable base. We have already discussed R with the usual topology. R with usual topology has a countable base because open intervals with a rational radii forms a base for this topology. So that means what? This topology is second countable because it has a countable base. So R with usual topology is an example of a second countable space. Is an example of a second countable space. Now we have one definition: covering. Covering. A family U of sets is said to cover a set A, or is a covering of a set A if A is contained in union of members of U. That is, A is contained in union I in I, Ui, where Ui is member of U. Thus we call U as a cover of the set A, and a subcover of U is a subfamily V. V is a subfamily of U which itself covers A. That means A is contained in union I in I, some Vi, where Vi belongs to V. Okay, I am writing V as like this. So a subcover of U is a subfamily of U which itself cover the set A. Hope you all understood what is a covering or what is a cover and its subcover. Now we are dealing in topological spaces. Then a cover is said to be open if all of its members are open. Cover is open, or we say that it's an open cover of A. That means members of U are open sets, are open in X, or they are the members of tau. Now we have one theorem. If a space is second countable means what? It has a countable base. Then every open cover of it has a countable subcover. That we can prove. So first assume that the space is second countable. That means X tau has a countable base B. That means we can write down the members of B like B1, B2, etc. because they are countable. Now this part is important. Let the set S equal to set of all n in natural numbers such that Bn is contained in some member of U. Before that, let U be an open cover of X. What we want to show that? What we want to show? Every open cover of it has a countable subcover. So we have taken an open cover U. Now we want to show that it has a subcover. That is, we want to find a subfamily V such that V itself covers X. For that, consider this set. Let S equal to set of all n in N such that Bn is contained in some member of U. That means if this B1 is contained in some U3, then 1 will come into the set S. Clear? And if B6 is contained in some other UI, need not be U1, suppose it is contained in U2, then 6 comes into the set S. And like that, if B10 is contained in U2 itself, then also 10 is coming into the set S. That means Bn is contained in some member of U, then this suffix n belongs to S. And there may be chances that B1 is contained in U1, also B2 is contained in U1. Then 1 and 2 also come into the set like B6 and B10. And there may be more chances that B1 is contained in U1 as well as B1 is contained in some U5. Then also 1 will come into S. So in this case, for each n in S, fix un in U such that Bn is contained in Un. That means in this case B1 is contained in U1 as well as B1 is contained in U5, then 1 belongs to S. So 1 is a member of S. That means B1 is contained in some UI. That is the definition. But in this case we have to fix this UN. We want to fix some UN. So here you can take either U1 or U5, but you need to specific. You need to be specific. So I am taking here U1. So Bn is contained exactly in one Un. We are fixing like that. Un belongs to U. We are fixing Un belongs to U such that Bn is contained in Un. Now consider this collection. Consider this collection C such that C as Bn where n belongs to S, and consider this collection V where V as Uns such that n belongs to S. Now C is a countable set because this B itself is a countable and C is a subfamily of B. So C is a countable subfamily of B. C is a subfamily of B. And what about V? V is a countable subfamily of U because members of V are Uns where n in S. But what is the set S? S is a subset of natural numbers which is countable. So V has elements of the form Un where n belongs to a subset of natural numbers, means we can count this U1, U3, etc. So V is also a countable set, and clearly V is a subfamily of U. Now what happens if C covers X? Then clearly, or this implies V covers X. Why? Because of this Bn's are contained in Uns. That means the subfamily C is contained in V. So if C covers, then V also covers. Clear? Because C is contained in V. C covers X means what? X can be expressed as the union of members of C. Then clearly union of members of V will also cover because C is a subfamily of V by this definition. Bn contained in Un. So here we have Bn's and here we have Un. So V is the bigger family, or C is a subfamily of V. So our aim is to show that C covers X. C covers X means what? V also covers X. That means the subfamily V of U covers X. That means it has a countable subcover. That we all need to prove. It is countable, that we have already said. Now to show that C covers X, what we need to do? For that, let X belongs to X. Since U covers X, U is a cover of X. Therefore, X belongs to U for some U in U. Clear? Now since the cover U is an open cover, U be an open cover means members of U are open sets. You have an open set U and X belongs to U. That is, you have an open set U containing X. Then by characterization of base, we get a set Bk. Then there exists a set Bk in B such that X belongs to Bk and Bk is contained in where U. By taking G equal to U in the previous proposition. So this means what? Bk contained in U implies K belongs to S. That was the definition of S. Set of all n in N such that Bn is contained in some member of U. So Bk is contained in U means what? This K belongs to S. So K belongs to S implies what? You see this set script C. Script C is collection of all Bn's where n in S. That means this Bk belongs to C. That is, corresponding to X in X, there exists this Bk, but this Bk is now in C. There exists Bk in C such that X belongs to Bk, which implies what? This C covers X, because if you take any X in X, it is contained in Bk, where Bk is a member of C. So C covers X. So C covers X means what? V also covers X. That is the proof. So every open cover has a countable subcover. Now you have one remark. Same topology can have more than one base. That means X tau can have B1 as a base or B2 as base, etc. It can have more than one base, but two distinct topologies, that is X tau 1 and X tau 2, can never have the same family of subsets as a base. Okay, they cannot have same family of subsets as a base. Now we have one proposition. Let tau 1 and tau 2 be topologies for a set having bases B1 and B2 respectively. So you have two topological spaces, X tau 1 and its base is B1. Another topological space is X tau 2 and its base is B2. Then tau 1 is weaker than tau 2. That means tau 1 is contained in tau 2 if and only if every member of B1 can be expressed as the union of members of B2. So this topology is the smaller topology or weaker topology, and this happens if and only if every member of B1, that means B has some members. If you take arbitrary B in B1, then this B could be written as the union of members of B2, some Bi 2 dash, where Bi 2 dash belongs to B2, because being an element of this base B1, B itself is open in tau 1. Clear? These are all contained in tau 1. So B is a member of tau 1 means what? B is an open set in tau 1. But every open set in tau 1 is open in tau 2, because tau 1 is the smaller one or weaker one. So being an open set in tau 2, B could be written as the union of members of its base, some members of its base. So this part is very clear, this proposition is very clear, and the reverse part also. So a topology is weaker compared to the another one tau 2 if and only if the members of first topological base can be expressed as the union of some members of the other one.